Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Kaboly.
Yeah, more.
This is it too. This is good lighting, good hoodie, good 412 hoodie. Perfect shade for that goatee, looking in mid-season form. Kaboly, you're killing it today, bub. We appreciate
Mark.
you.
Should I get real close like Art?
Yeah, Art was up in that thing, wasn't he? You saw it. Yeah, you noticed that as well. Yeah, we all did. Art did great, as will you, because that is all Kaboly does. Pittsburgh Steelers, big conversation right now is quarterback. That's it. And is that what's happening through Combine? Is that what's happening back at home? What is being talked about with the Pittsburgh Steelers right now? Is it just the quarterback situation?
Yeah, that's number one on the list. They can't really move forward until they figure out their quarterback situation, whether it's going to be Justin Fields or Russell Wilson. They prefer Justin Fields, and they're going to move forward with the thought of trying to sign him up here right now. But, you know, things can happen between now and Wednesday. I mean, Justin's no hurry to get signed right now.
Right.
I mean, he has all the power in the relationship right now. I mean, considering how needy the NFL is in quarterback situation. Those 6 games did him really well last year of making him a hot commodity out there. So he's just going to play it out here. The Steelers want to bring him back. We're going to make every effort to bring him back. And they're not going to mention this publicly, but he's 1A. And if things go awry, then the fallback plan is Russell Wilson. But they don't really want to lay it out in those terms because you don't want to have Justin Fields go to a team like the Jets or the Giants and say, oh, by the way, Russell Wilson, you're our plan B, come on over. So it's all quarterback. Once the quarterback's in place, which will be likely Tuesday-ish, Monday, Tuesday-ish at the latest, they can move forward in acquiring some other players what they need.
You know more than me, Kaboly. How come it just became Justin Fields is the one option over Russell Wilson? Is it strictly because of how much each would cost, or is it because they feel like the future that they learned of Justin Fields in his first few games is what they're banking on instead of Russell Wilson coming in, playing the best football that anybody's really played at the quarterback position for the Pittsburgh Steelers in some time? I think that was...
For a couple games.
Okay, so turns out on both, I think. But nonetheless, why is Justin Fields the guy over Russell Wilson, and who reps Justin Fields?
Well, you know, with Justin, he's just the smart choice. I mean, he's 26, I believe. He's sort of like I liken it to a lottery ticket. You know, you scratch it off. It's not going to cost you that very much to become a franchise-type quarterback. You're probably not going to hit big on it, but at least you have a chance. With Russell, he's 36, going to be 37 in November. I mean, you got a very short window with him. Moving forward here with Justin, he showed a lot in those 6 games last year. Not only that, he played throughout the preseason, throughout the OTAs.
He's a leader too, felt like.
Yeah, I mean, he did everything right. I mean, when people say that his teammates love him and nobody ever has a bad word to say about it, that's true. The guy is just class act of how he approaches everything. Now he has to obviously improve his game. It was a difficult situation last year because you look at it, you had 2 very different type of quarterbacks. And Artie Smith thought he was going to have Russell Wilson. Then he had Justin Fields. You didn't want to switch things around to make everything crazy when you knew Russell was going to come back and be your guy. If you start from the beginning, start with Justin, give him a legit opportunity to become your quarterback of the future, not only now, that's why he's so valuable to them.
Let Artie Smith get in his bag, as they say, with a running quarterback like Justin Fields, because it was also the first year of him trying to implement his system and code words and everything to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So how much can you play around with, oh, we got a running guy, we got a pocket guy? That's an interesting stat there, Kaboly. And we got a couple minutes before the hard out, and we'll continue on YouTube, ESPN Plus, Disney Plus, and TikTok Live. But whenever you think about the quarterback position, the next question is, who's you going to throw to? Who's Artie going to get? AP Tone has a question for you, Kaboly.
Yeah, Kaboly, that is question number 2. Which
Kaboly.
Just kidding. We're going to get one. I know we kicked the tires on Christian Kirk last year for a trade. Then he broke his collarbone. Darius Slayton. Those guys are free agents now. Obviously, DK's on the trade market. Cooper Kupp's out there. Devontae's out there. Any idea who we're going to maybe get this year?
Probably somebody that you don't want there, Tom.
Yeah, probably.
Here's the thing. I mean, you've been a Steeler fan for your entire life, right?
Yep.
How many times have you ever heard them having $63,
Never.
$65 million worth of cap space with the potential of that going up to 80, 85 if they restructure a couple easily restructurable guys here? So they can pretty much go out there and dictate whoever they want. The problem is you don't want to give up a high draft choice. Just say DK Metcalf, for example. You don't want to give up a second and or third round pick, then have to pay him $120 million.
Yeah, agreed.
That seems like a little steep.
We'll see you tomorrow here on ESPN. Nailed it. Okay, but you're being right, though. Like, the trading of the draft picks feels like an anti-Steelers thing.
Yeah, especially like if it's a first and a third, there's no chance. And obviously pairing him with George Pickens, the rest of the NFL would find that very funny when things aren't going right and they're both taking themselves out of the game, stuff like that. So I don't know.
Whoa. Next year's different year.
Well, I'm just saying there's a potential chance. But no, so I don't see it being DK.
Tom.
That's not the Steelers thing to do. They normally would go get, someone a little bit farther. Normally they would wait till like Thursday, Friday and get whoever's left. But
Second, third round.
Yeah, I hope they'll be a little more
free
aggressive.
agency.
Yes.
Kaboly, what do you think ends up happening? Do you think they get a wide receiver that's kind of middle of the market, like Tone is thinking, like somebody maybe next week after the first wave of free agents who have probably already agreed to all these deals that are going to be announced on Monday whenever free agency opens? They agreed to these deals probably at the Combine, at least happening right now as we speak. Do you think that ends up being what the case is? Do you think maybe they get an OG guy on a lower, cheaper price and hope they're able to bring some youthful juice out of him with GP on the other side, knowing that you're not going to get made? What do you think is the end-up play for Omar Khan and Tomlin with the Steelers at wideout?
I think they're going to go look for a nice, solid veteran guy. I mean, I'll just throw names out there like Keenan Allen. Obviously, a guy like Christian Kirk. Those are guys that they would be interested in. I don't think they would be too interested in some of the higher price guys like Godwin, even though he's coming off an injury that I think he was healthy near the end of last year. He would be a nice fit, but I think they would be a little skeptical of anybody with injuries like that. Ayuk, coming off an injury, that's a difficult one to go down to as well. But I'm sure there's going to be other receivers that are available. Amari Cooper. If you can add one or two of those type of guys, solid veteran number two guys, then supplement it with the guys you have of Calvin Austin, who had a decent year last year, Roman Wilson, who played 5 snaps last year, and they still got high hopes on him, and then add in the draft, then all of a sudden you got something.
Roman Wilson, Michigan. He was a great player.
Yeah, at Michigan, yeah.
Yeah, at Michigan he was.
He got hurt in camp and then just could never get healthy, and then the season ended.
Oh, I didn't even think about getting 2 of those vets in there. You probably could go Thursday, Friday, might be able, especially with $60-some million. What were you going to say?
I was going to say there's one name on there that Kaboly didn't say. I need Tony Diggs in a Stephon Diggs jersey more than I need anything right now.
Coming off injury as well, and obviously Caserio talked about how thankful he was for his time in Houston. That's certainly to be decided. What's that, Kaboly?
That'd be an interesting locker room. Stephon Diggs and George Pickens.
What are you saying?
The hell is that?
I'm not suggesting
great players.
Seems like you're alluding to things here, Kaboly. You need to watch that. Even if you said name.
I'm alluding.
Yeah, you are alluding. You're alluding. Go ahead.
Assuming.
Alluding and assuming. Yeah, one thing goes with the other, brother. AJ has a question for you, Kaboly.
Yeah, Kaboly, I've seen rumored on the internet that it's possible Najee could, there might be a slight chance they could try to re-sign him and bring him back to the squad. Are there any chances that this could happen?
I'm sure there's always a chance. I'll say what Omar Khan always says, GM. I'm never going to close the door on anybody, but Saquon Barkley just got $20 million a year. All of a sudden, that pushes Najee Harris's money up just a tad. You're looking anywhere 8, 9, 10 a year for him. If you're looking for 3 for 30, I don't know if that's something they would be willing to go down and be able to spend money on. They already have to give Jalen Warren $3.5 million on his restricted free agent tender coming up. And I know, I believe your friend Dan Orlovsky tweeted recently about the lack of explosive run
Not
game.
a friend.
Our friend, yours as well. Everybody's friend.
Last 6 years,
He always ignores me
Not
on
mine.
Twitter.
Well, he ignores that. I think he's got his mentions actually muted, so he can't read anything. But what did Norton?
it was the number 32 team in yards per carry over the last 6 years.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about that. The reason why that is because they just don't have big runs. Najee Harris has played. He has 4,000-yard runs, 4,000-yard seasons. He's never had a run longer than 37 yards. This team needs explosive plays in the running
Warren,
game.
right?
And they
Isn't Warren
have
the guy?
not been able to do it.
Plus,
Isn't Warren like the guy? Anytime he gets the ball, it feels like there's like real juice. I don't know. Naj, I know, pounds him away, so it sets up and helps for Warren. But anytime he gets the ball, it feels like there's a lot more juice whenever you're talking about those.
there is, especially
Definitely.
2 years ago, felt like there was more juice. Now, he was banged up last year, but also, like, Najee coming back doesn't make as much sense because the running back class is predicted to be one of the best in the last 10 years. So you can take someone very, very cheap who can do what Najee does and not have to pay him $10 million a year.
Whoa. I don't know if anybody can do it. Najee obviously getting better and better as he gets older. I think he had his best year this past season, right? Wouldn't we all agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. They were all like, every single season he had like between 1,000 and 1,100 yards every single season. It's crazy. 4 years of them.
So he is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yes, exactly. He was perfect.
Congratulations to you guys.